Okay guys, I thought I'd do a little follow-up video on the 2008 Expedition. About 3 years ago, I changed out the VCT solenoids. That helped with the rough idle. That helped for quite a while. It was about two and a half years, and I started having it again. And I started to, after looking it up, and I started to notice that I was also having some the kind of clicking sounds in the engine. Almost sounds like a diesel running. Researching it, it was the timing components, the plastic guides, the chain slapping around, the cam phaser starting to go out. So I decided to do that. I changed out all the timing components. I did that before I started filming any of these, and I just wanted to go over and show you guys a couple of things. So on this 2008, some of the bigger differences, I'll kind of give you a wide shot of the engine compartment. Some stuff's in a different place. I think the battery was pretty much in the same place on most of these in that general range, but I think maybe the air intakes were a little different. Reservoirs were a little different. There's the filter box. You can kind of get down in here and see that's where the head is, the valve cover. So I had to take out the filter box, the reservoir. Of course, all this air intake plastic had to come out. So the vacuum hoses here, these vacuum hoses. I didn't have to do anything with the brakes. That stayed put. Of course, all the wiring harnesses had to go. Fuel injection, I didn't have to mess with that. All that stayed put. The only radiator hose that I had to take care of was off of the reservoir, and of course the big ones here in front off the radiator, just the top one, not the bottom. All this big plastic here had to come off. That was simple enough. The fuse box, I couldn't get it off completely because of all the wires, but I was able to loosen it and move it out of the way enough. The battery and battery box had to come out. AC, I did not disconnect any of the AC lines. The heater lines here, I disconnected them off of the engine, but I did not disconnect any of these quick connects. That was not advised upon on what I could find on YouTube as well, that those would break a lot of times. It'd be brittle, especially this many miles this old. So I just was able to, they're soft and flexible. Disconnecting it here off the engine and moving it back out of the way was enough to get to this valve cover. And with taking out the battery box, that was able to get that out. So in my other video about the VCT solenoids, I didn't really get into the ins and outs of a lot of the details, but I know that they looked a little different on the 08. And the 08, I think, had a couple of different models. I was going to give you a close-up of, this is the VCT solenoids. To just change these, you have to take the valve cover off on this model. Some of the older ones was a little bit of a little bigger hole and off-centered VCT solenoid that would just pull straight up out of there without having to take out the whole valve cover. But this one, you have to take out the valve cover. We also had to take off, just unplug the computer components. We didn't have to unbolt the computer holding unit here itself. One of the details I could not find, there was some real good videos, and I gotta give a shout out to FordTechMakuloco. That guy does it all with Fords. If you got a question with a Ford, you need to look up him. I just wanted to kind of give you an update of what I had to do. Down here on the fan, that nut for taking off the fan was really the only main difference that I couldn't find on his video, on FordTech's video. He had a different style fan. It had a smaller nut. This one is much bigger. The regular fan clutch wrenches that you could buy didn't fit it. I think the biggest one I had was 36 millimeter, and it didn't work. It was bigger than that. I ended up just using a big crescent wrench I had. putting it on there and then smacking it with a hammer to break it loose, and that worked out. And just put it back on the same way. That's pretty much it. I do want to start it for you so you can kind of hear it, how it sounds a lot better. I don't have a before sound, but if you're watching this video, yours is probably clicking and knocking lightly. But I want you guys to hear it. So as you can hear, it's a lot smoother sounding. You don't hear the timing chain slapping around. There's no plastic. You don't hear the cam phasers clicking. So that was the big difference. It doesn't sound like a diesel, or at least it doesn't sound like an old diesel. So anyway, if you have any comments, post them in there. I'll see if I can answer them. Again, I'll put a link in the description for FordTechMakuloco on his timing video, his timing change video. I make the same recommendation he made. For all the internal timing parts, use Ford OEM parts. They're more expensive, but the work that it takes to get into the front cover where the timing is, you want to put good parts in there so you don't have to do it again, or end up taking it somewhere and get charged 2 or 3 or 4 times more just to have it done right. Okay guys, I hope that answered some of your questions. I'm sure I'll have some more videos coming for you. Again, post any comments, I'll try to respond. Subscribe to the channel, click the like button, hit the notifications, and I'll try to have some more videos coming for you. Thanks guys. Oh, and good luck.